BBC4 with some strong language to properly prepare you for Round the Horn Revisited, a potted but fantabulosa history of Polari.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and for all those in between, and those young at heart and those weak in the head, it's Round the Horn Part 2.
Some subcultures still had to use what amounted to secret languages. The gay scene found expression in the unlikely setting of the highly popular BBC series Round the Horn, using the secret language of Polari.
Boners, quite.
Yes. Cards.
Naff.
Or is it she camp?
Camp, yeah.
Queen, of course.
Queen, yeah.
Soda Malone,
Bevy,
occasionally.
Bevy.
And the shoe things coming.
I use Latty, back to the Latty.
Back to the Latty,
I have to
yes,
explain
back
it
to
to
the
some of the ones
flat.
under 25.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the title of this show is to remember a programme of years ago called Round the Horn. And, of course, there was that wonderful Julian and Sandy, which was Kenneth Williams and Hugh Paddock.
Hello, anybody there?
Oh, hello, I'm Julian, and this is my friend Sandy.
Yes, look. Yes, you see, look, it's crocheted on our smocks. The actual name, you see. Are you one of the Daleks from Doctor Who? Oh, no, it's Mr. Horn, isn't it? So sorry. Nice to bard you, Reed.
Thank you very much, dear.
The Polari, which was the language that they used, was only known by theatricals. And the ordinary public really didn't know what they meant. But it was the way they did it that made the public laugh.
Where was I? Yes. What show? Carried away there. What show you doing, Mr. Horn? You come for Sweevy La Piste?
Well, not particularly. No, but if you've got the kettle on, I don't...
Oh, he's bold! And cheeky with it.
Had they known what they really meant, it would have been banned from radio completely. Talking about dirty dishes, I mean, we know, don't we, dear, you know.
Polari, which is also known as Parliari, is, for me, it's something absolutely fascinating. It's particularly because it's dying. It's a secret code. It's an underground code, a very rich code, but a kind of alternative language. And there aren't many real alternative languages left, if any. And it's identified nowadays, has been since the 60s, with gay culture.
First of all, you could recognise somebody else who spoke that language, but also you would speak in a way which other people wouldn't understand. So you could talk about cruising, you could talk about men who were omis, bisexual men were omi palomis, women were palones. I mean, it was full of those kind of code words.
Boner lallies on the omi.
Yeah, the omi's in there. What's it mean?
Well, they were very nice legs.
Theatre people were outcasts, rather like gypsies. So you find that a lot of the old Polari has got sort of the Romany connotations in it, with the Italian, you know, mangiare, to eat, and vada, to look.
Boner dish. Oh, yeah. Boner dish on the omi.
That's your bum. It's your bum.
Yes, yes.
Mind you, when they see me, they say, that's not a dish, that's a silver service.
It was the gays who ended up taking it as their secret code in the 60s when they still needed an underground identity.
It would all be done in the side of the mouth, wasn't it? It was always done with glass or cigarettes, you know. Vada the Omi just walked in, you know, Nanty Rye or
Nanty Rye, but you know, Boner eat.
That's like Boner
yes.
What's Boner eat?
Nice face.
Bona to vada your dolly old eek is probably the most famous saying, which means it's good to see your welcome, nice face.
Bona is like buono and bono. It comes from Latin, Italic languages, Italian, Spanish. Vada is Romany, meaning to look at or be aware of, so it's nice to look at. Your dolly. Dolly is a Victorian slang, British phrase for kind of attractive and sexually available. And then ECAF is back slang. It's the word face, spelled backwards. So it's great to see your attractive face again.
Oh, hello, I'm Julian, this is my friend Sandy.
Round the Horn, every Sunday, everybody rushed home after the pubs closed to hear whilst the meat was being sliced.
Browned in the oven.
You know, and making the Bisto gravy, this wonderful radio.
I was recommended to a fashionable firm of solicitors in Lincoln's Inn. The brass plate on the door read,
Boner Law.
They came from a theatrical background, but every week they had a different job, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes. That was how he found them. They were lawyers or florists or gardeners,
undertakers, boner flowers or something like that, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm game.
And he is, Mr. Horn. Oh, no, Ducky. Oh, there's no one game
I remember in the flower thing that coming back to me, Nanty trellis work up your arse and all that. And your arse is a slang word for the back passage.
Yes,
you know?
up the dish.
Up the dish.
Hello, anybody there?
Oh, hello, I'm Julian. This is my friend Sandy. I've got my articles and he's taken silk.
Frequently. Well, Mr. Horn, what brings you trolling in here?
Can you help me? I've erred.
Yeah, we've all heard, Ducky. I mean, it's common knowledge, isn't it, Jules?
Trolling, what's another word? Oh, trolling, yes, trolling.
Yeah.
What's trolling?
They use that
Looking for trade.
Or they use that all the time in Round the Horn.
Will you take my case?
Well, it depends on what it is. We've got a criminal practice that takes up most of our time.
Yes, but apart from that...
A lot of people didn't know what they meant, but it was the way they did it. That was all that was funny, you know.
Polari, because it's used as a sort of defensive and sometimes offensive weapon by homosexual men at a time in history when it was very difficult to be that, is full of irony and is funny and also is kind of near the knuckle.
Definitely a touch of lavender there, dear. Yes.
Some of the Polari sayings are great. I mean, cigarette was a vogue, steel was chaffy. There was a really great, like a policeman would be called Tracy Truncheon or Jennifer Justice. And then there's a great expression, if you were outraged by something, you'd clutch your pearls.
There's rhyming slang, clock is lovely lallies, clock is lovely plates of meat, feet, there's legs and feet.
What about the dibs and dabs?
Dibs and dabs.
Yes, dibs and dabs. Crabs. Yeah. I've got a touch of the dibs and dabs this week, dear.
There are a few Polari words which crossed over into mainstream slang, but not really into mainstream respectable orthodox speech.
Well, of course, cant has become very well known now, hasn't it, of course? Yes.
Kazi, meaning a toilet, scarper, meaning run away, and lolly, meaning money, in kind of school kids slang nowadays. These are all Romany or Polari terms.
Naff came out of the Polari. It wasn't just a sort of Cockney slang.
No.
There are maybe a handful of people who still speak this naturally. There are people on the internet trying to revive it, trying to celebrate Polari, but it's a dying code, tremendously romantic code, I think.
We don't use it all that much now. You know, when we used to be in a production, like a touring review, and it was the same people travelling all round all the time, we used it an awful lot then. Yeah. But now you don't use it so much.
All-nighters now.
Yeah.
Talking about dirty dishes, I mean, we know, don't we, dear? You know.
They're doing the dishes. Well,
dishes would be
yes, giving him one, yes.
Oh,